everyone, welcome back to Pep Coding. So today we will be discussing about a new data structure which is known as a linked list. Okay, this data structure is quite interesting. First we'll understand how it is different from an array. Okay, we'll take the example of an array. So basically, if over here I have my memory, right, the heap. So in the memory, I have a situation where this part is full, like there's something assigned to it. We have 20 bytes free. Then another part is full, and then again 20 bytes are free. This is how I have my memory right now. I want to create an array of 10 integers. Now, doing the basic mathematics, I need 40 bytes. But the problem is that array demands the memory to be continuous. Okay, we can only create an array when the memory is continuous. So if I had the memory in a form where I had this and this part full, here I had 20 bytes, and over here also I had 20 bytes free. So I would have been able to easily create an array. But now obviously I don't have this case. So now, as you can imagine, I cannot create an array over here, right? So what can I do? I obviously need to store my elements, right? The data. So in this case, I have another data structure which is introduced to me, which is known as linked list. So what happens in a linked list is, over here, I have, one second. So I have a few nodes, something like this. I know it seems confusing right now. I'll tell you what I'm doing. So over here I have my data, okay. Suppose 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Now these are fragmented, right? They are distributed, they are spread randomly. So what happens is, I have my data over here, and this part points to another element. So over here I have the address of another element or the next element. Similarly, 20 is pointing over here, this is pointing here, and this is pointing here. So I have the nodes spread out randomly, but I can easily understand which data element or which node will come next to the first one, because I have the address of the next one stored over here. Let's see this on a white page. I have something like this, okay. So I have 10 and the address is 4K. I have stored 5K over here. Then I have a 5K node, okay. This node, the value is 20 and it is storing 6K. Then I have somewhere over here, okay, this data is, the address is 6K and it is storing the value at 7K. Then I have 7K over here, okay. The data is 40 and it is storing 3K. Then I have 3K over here. So this is 3K and it is storing 80 and null, suppose. Okay. So when it is null, obviously there is no other element it is pointing to. So this is pointing over here. This is pointing here. This is pointing here. And this is pointing here. And 3K is not pointing anywhere. So this is how my linked list will be distributed in the memory. But since they are linked to each other and pointing to each other, so I will not have any problem in retrieving them. So it looks, if I only create on the basis of the data, it will look something like this. Okay. So 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. This will be pointing to null and they are pointing to each other. Now we have three things which we need to discuss about. They are the head, tail and next in a linked list. So talking about the head, the first node of the linked list is the head. Okay, So suppose its address is 4k. So the address 4k will be stored in a node called head, and whenever I'll call for the head, I'll get the first node of the linked list. Okay. Tail is the last node. So tail is this. Suppose this is 8k. So I'll have the address 8k stored in a node called tail. And I will, whenever I'll retrieve the tail, I'll get the last element of the linked list. Now, if there's a condition where my linked list is of size 1 only, there's only one element in the entire linked list. So this itself is the head and this is the tail also. Okay. Then comes next. So what is next? See, 10 is storing the address of 20, right? Because it is pointing to 20. So next means that if I say that I want the next of this node, for example, I'm saying that this is node 1. So if I call for the next of node 1, I'll get 20. So next is another node. Next is storing the address of the element which comes next to the first element or the current element which we are on. So node 1.next will give us 20 because it is storing the address of 20. Okay, so this was about these three. Then another thing which we need to discuss about is the memory which is taken up. So see, when I'm talking about an array, while talking about an array, I know that for each element, if it is an integer value, for each element, array will take up, array will take up 4 bytes. So if I have 5 elements, it will take up 20 bytes. But when it comes to a heap, when it comes to linked list, I have two parts, right? A data part and the part which stores the address of the next. So I will take 4 bytes for this part, that is the data part, and 4 bytes for the address part also, right? So this will take up, in linked list, we take up 8 bytes. Okay, for each node, for each element, this is known as a node. Basically, we have one part of a data, one part of the address, and as a whole, it is known as a node, right? So one node takes up 8 bytes. So if I have 5 nodes, it will take up 40 bytes, right? But if you remember, linked list works very well when it comes to fragmented memory. Arrays always need continuous memories. But if I have only fragmented memory and I need to work with it, linked list can do my work quite easily. So we discussed about linked list today. I hope you understood the gist of it all. We'll discuss it further in the upcoming questions, all the functions and everything. But right now, all the main points of it have been discussed in this video. So I hope you understood what we talked about, and see you in the upcoming videos. Till then, please like, share and subscribe to the channel.